Hi, Yanis here. In this video, I want to show you the difference between how you can review your building design and monitor the quality of it if the design is done in the classical 2D blueprint way, and how it compares if your design is done in 3D or using the building information modeling process. If your design is done in 2D, as a client, you will usually have two types of information for review: renders and 2D blueprints. The render, which is usually a pretty picture, does not necessarily represent the real design, because it might not be linked to the drawings directly, meaning that the picture you look at might be okay for you, but the end result after construction can be quite different. This is especially true for interior items, where the picture can contain elements that you can't even purchase in real life. Quality control of renders is straightforward. You look at the picture, you tell what you don't like, and hope the architect will fix it. But if the render contains false information that you are unaware of, then you might make the wrong decisions. And on the picture on the left side, you can see one example. In this case, I was designing my holiday house and I received these renders from the architect. Well, they looked quite fine for me, but I had a look in more detail about the elements inside, and one of them was the sauna and the sauna equipment, the stove. And I checked the specifications and realized that you cannot actually buy a stove with these specifications. So the wall thickness was too big to fit this sauna mouth, and there were no other solutions in the market. This meant that basically the architect had to move the stove to a completely different room to be able to build it that way. Blueprints are the most common form of communication of the design and solutions to all the different stakeholders. So you as a client, contractor, trade specialists, and so on. Reading drawings is not that difficult, but there are some symbols you might not be aware of what they mean. Also, you have to remember that drawings are only an approximation of what the building will look like in real life. It means that it's a specific view made with many limitations, and it never contains all the information that is necessary to build a building. And the same applies to making decisions. Well, you are going to make decisions on a limited amount of information. Quality control of blueprints is done by visually trying to identify issues on a 2D plan or section view. It is very easy to miss something, and there are many errors that are usually found in 2D blueprints, like missing information, misalignments, and so on. Here is just one example of an error that can be found in 2D blueprints. So it's a comparison between architectural and structural part, and on the left side you can see that the stairs are located in one place, and on the structural drawings they are located in the other. So the question usually is, which drawing the contractor will use to build the building, and what this kind of error can affect later on, maybe with some other solutions like the MEP systems. To improve the quality of your design, improve the solutions and your well-being, and also reduce unexpected costs during the construction, it is possible to use building information modeling, which is a process where the design is done using 3D technologies. Key to building information modeling is creation of these models. So these are not just simple 3D models, but they are based on objects which can be found in real life. So these are windows, doors, floors, roofs, and so on. And then you can use these objects to, for example, extract quantities or check the quality and coordination with other trades. In the best case scenario, you would want all the disciplines or trades modeled. So it means architecture, structure, MEP. But in reality, it might be difficult to find all the specialists that would be able to create these models. In some of my blog posts, I explored the different options, but my recommendation would be to find architect that's able to create these models, and then of course, if possible, then the other trades as well, to get the full benefits of building information modeling process. Well, there are many benefits to using building information modeling, also in small housing, but some of them are very beneficial to avoid risks during construction. So one of them is reviewing the design in 3D. So what you gain additionally to 2D environment is an extra dimension, which allows you to have a look at the solutions and understand whether this is something you like or something that needs to be changed. Another aspect is that you are able to find different errors more easily and in a more user-friendly environment. Additionally, you are not limited to a specific amount of information when working with these models. This means, for example, that you're able to create sections wherever you want and look at the building from any perspective you like. And it would contain different elements, and you can look at their placement. Like in this view, I'm creating a section of the building and trying to look at both the 3D environment, and if necessary, I can look at it also from the 2D perspective. If you have multiple discipline models, or as in this case, you can see structural part and HVAC part, you're able to do clash review. This means you're able to look for issues where, as in this case, the element is not fitting or is intersecting with other element. It basically means that you cannot build in such a way. Well, maybe the solution to this situation is just moving the duct to the left and that's enough. But there are many cases where the solutions are difficult and you might need to, for example, lower your ceiling height or change the design solution completely. To utilize benefits from building information modeling, there are a few principles you need to know. So first of all, of course, you need to have the models, and they do not necessarily need to be very detailed to utilize some of the possibilities or so-called BIM uses. So one of them is extracting drawings. It would be very important that if the models are made, the drawings are extracted from them. And because all the quality control or all the design review you do in 3D environment, if it's not represented in the 2D drawings, which are usually used for construction, then there is no use of this process at all. If possible, ask the ones that produce the models to create the quantities, extract the quantities from the models. Since, as I mentioned, in the BIM process, the models are made from objects like floors, doors, windows, pipes, ducts, and so on, it's possible to extract also more accurate quantities from the models. And these quantities are usually much more accurate than the ones produced from just the 2D blueprints. And this can save you a lot of money during the construction. And finally, if possible, and you have multiple discipline models, try to combine them together and see if there are no major mistakes found. This can save a lot of money, even for small housing. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like this video. Check out also my blog at smallbim.com to see a lot of tips and tricks how to improve your buildings using the new technologies available.